Howdy, folks. Welcome back to Genshin Impact. Today, we are just getting into the new 3.6 stuff. It just came out a day or two ago. And so, one of the things that I'm going to want to do is make a few wishes on one of these two banners. I think I'm gonna go for Nahida, but I want to do that after I finish up the quest that I'm in the middle of. So, going to come back to this after we complete Chapter 3, Act 3. So, and then I've got a bunch of other things that I need to do. But for now, I'm gonna go with the quest, see how far or see how long that takes, and then make some wishes. I've got enough that I should
as a jeweler
have a decent chance at obtaining her. If not, well, that's how luck goes, I guess. So, last we left off, Nahida in the form of, or possessing Catherine of Sumeru, because now for sure they are different Catherines. Wanted us to meet her here, I believe. If I recall correctly. Maybe it was somebody else. I guess it was somebody else. I just know that Catherine is not currently in Sumeru, and I thought we were meeting her here. Oh, there she is. She's with me.
traveler. It is you!
Ah, it's Hypatia!
Long time no see.
Ah, what a pleasant surprise! It's so nice to see the two of you again.
Who's this? She's a scholar we met in the Avidia Forest. When we last saw each other, she was still training in the... what's it called? Satyavada life? Oh, I see.
That's right, we're old friends. You've come at just the right time. Ever since I've come here, hardly anyone has even talked to me.
Hypatia, you're way too excited about this. Actually, for you to leave the Avidia Forest means... you're not in training anymore? Wait, no. Did you already finish your training and reach Pariporna life?
What do you think? My consciousness has already managed to make contact with the divine.
You did it! Congratulations!
I'm really happy for you.
It's so exhilarating to share this sublime joy with others at long last! When my consciousness made contact with the gods. Ah, what a supreme and unparalleled experience that was!
That sounds incredible!
Actually, we're here for Tainare.
Oh, alright. Actually, please wait. I haven't forgotten my promise to you. Remember? I promised to help you understand what you saw from Irminsul once I gained deeper insights. My current self has not only gained true insight, but I can even help you establish a direct connection to the consciousness of the divine.
Do we need that, though?
You can do that?
Do you believe her, Nahida?
I've never heard of anything like that, but if you want to give it a try, I'll do my best to protect your consciousness during the process.
Hold on. I brought some spirit borneal with me. This is still a crucial part of the ceremony.
We're using that incense again?
All right now. Hold my hand. I'll help you establish a pathway to connect your consciousness.
Did you have that entire thing just in your pocket? I mean, I guess that's nothing worse than me carrying around everything that I carry, but still.
Okay,
Ready?
I guess so.
It took 3 betrayals for me to finally understand. The world is just an elaborate tapestry of lies. My fury will never be quelled. The first to betray me was a god. My creator. My mother. Valuing strength above all, she saw no worth in me and I was discarded. The second was a human. My family. My friend. Consumed by fear, he saw me as an abomination. The third was one exactly like me. A hope for the future. A fledgling barely out of the nest. Powerless before his mortality, he broke his promise to me. Humans, they can't be trusted. And the gods fill me with pure loathing. So I said good riddance. I denounced the world and laugh in its face. My chest will never again be defiled by worldly filth. I will scrub away every last trace of human emotion. Then it will be empty, a blank slate, and ready to receive a supreme gnosis, brimming with pure divinity. There is no need to fear. The pain will be brief. Your era is coming to an end.
All right, then.
What was that?
This is either the Greater Lord's consciousness nor King Deshret's consciousness.
Did we actually just see the Balladeer's memories? Everything matches what we know about him. But how is he connected to the divine consciousness that Hypatia was talking about?
You saw it, right? You felt it, right? Such a majestic god! Such a noble will! Such sublime emotion! Alas, shame. If only that which beats within my chest wasn't a filthy mortal heart. Oh, great and merciful God! Please grant me forgiveness and salvation!
do you understand now? I'm afraid this is no periporno life, but rather...
Wake up, Hypatia. Excuse me.
You! Why are you so mean to me? Why is everyone hiding from me? I found divine wisdom. Shouldn't I receive praise and honor? Haven't I uncovered that light in the darkness?
Hypatia?
That's how I always thought everything should be. Wait, have I already lost my mind?
Possibly. I don't know.
Wait, something isn't right.
Well, here we go. Well, I mean, it's only fair. We look into his mind, he can look right back.
Okay, we finally lost him. Are you okay, Nahida? Wait, no. Something feels different. You're back!
Oh, the Traveler's back?
It's me. What just happened?
Nahida was controlling your body for a while. It seemed like she jumped over to you as an emergency measure right before the Catherine puppet was destroyed.
Oh,
After that, Tainari heard the commotion and came over. He helped us defeat the mercenaries and then he ran with us all the way here.
this time she didn't just transfer her mind into my body. Our minds swapped places.
What? You swapped places? You mean your consciousness also went into Nahida's body? Wait, then where is Nahida's consciousness? Where is she now?
I never imagined that an individual's consciousness could be transferred around like this. Had I not seen it with my own eyes, I would have never believed it. I don't think this can be achieved with current human technology.
And where did you come from?
Also, while we were running, the consciousness in your body told me to pass on a message. She said, the doctor has found a way to trap my consciousness, so I can't journey with you anymore. But even in a moonless night, a shower of starlight can still drown out illusions and lies.
Oh no! Nahida's trapped in the sanctuary of Surasthana for good this time. Was that message all she left for us? It's pretty vague.
It's in a code that only we know. We can't let the doctor figure out what we're up to.
Oh, that makes sense. Since the doctor captured her, she won't be able to say anything without him knowing. She's being extra careful. Even in a moonless night, a shower of starlight can still drown out illusions and lies. Huh. Paimon knows the moon illusions and lies are from the alchemical divination at the Sub-Zero's festival. Didn't Nahida use a starlight analogy before? It had something to do with Sataria.
The moon refers to Nahida herself. Starlight refers to the people of the desert. Illusions and lies refer to the academia's plans. I mean, is this one of those where I say all of them? Let's just start with the moon, I guess.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. Huh. Do you think Nahida was telling us to go find help in the desert? But she isn't with us anymore. Think we'll be okay?
Paimon, you said Sanctuary of Surasthana, correct? Does this mean that this Nahida you're talking about, the consciousness who was occupying the Traveler's body, is the Dendro Archon?
Your guess is correct, but the situation's a bit complicated, so it's really hard for us to explain right now.
That's all right. A scholar's curiosity doesn't need to be appeased right away. As for the complicated nature of the situation, safe to say I have witnessed that for myself. I've spent some time with you, and it looks like the Dendro Archon's also on your side. So, I trust you.
Thank you, Tainari. Oh, actually, we came here to ask you a question. What do you know about the project that the sages have been working on?
Ah, that. While I was indeed invited to join that project, the sages were always secretive about its scope and goals, so I eventually declined. All I know is that the project has something to do with the restoration of Irminsul.
I think I know what the project is about.
Huh? Did you see something when you were in Nahida's body?
The academia is turning the Balladeer into a god.
What?
So is that where all the Gnosis is going to?
Do you have any evidence?
It's a ancient god under construction. Describe what I saw when I exchanged consciousnesses.
So that's what happened. That explains why Hypatia's symptoms were different from those of the other scholars who went mad. It's because she made contact with the consciousness of a new god who is still in the process of being born.
Tighnari, did you leave the Avidia Forest because of Hypatia?
I did. I noticed Hypatia's mental anomalies, but since her symptoms were rather atypical, I secretly took her to Pardis Di and began searching for a way to return her to her normal self. If I didn't take action, Hypatia would have already been taken by the Matra to the desert, doomed to a life of exile at Aru village. Now that you mention it, I knew the Academia has never thought particularly highly of Lesser Lord Kusanali, but I still didn't expect them to do something as arrogant as creating a new god. Looks like I made the right decision by not accepting their invitation.
The Fatui is also behind some of this.
The Doctor and the Balladeer. We have 2 Fatui Harbingers in Sumeru. Sounds like we're in for a bad time. From your description, I don't think they've completed their project. There may still be room for us to intervene. But then, what is the connection between creating a new god and restoring Irminsul?
Yeah, it feels like we're still nowhere close to figuring out the Sage's goals.
Oh. We must stop them no matter what.
Right. We've pretty much gone over everything we need to know, so we should head out. How about you, Tighnari? What are you going to do?
I'll stay here for now. I still want to try a few more things to help Hypatia. If you're planning to go into the desert, start by heading for Caravan Ribat. That'll be your fastest route. Come find me here if there's anything else I can do to help. May the spirit of wisdom go with you.
Thanks, Tighnari. Hopefully Hypatia will feel better soon. We're off then.
Okay. I didn't think I'd be heading to the desert so quickly. I mean, there's an entire, northern section of Sumeru that I haven't really explored.
A blade is like a tea leaf.
I mean, I guess
Only
since
those who sample it many times can appreciate its true qualities.
since I'm right here, I can grab the statue. And get this place mapped out at least. That's interesting. It's a thing just being held by, I assume, Dendro. What is this? Ah, another one of those. Alright, so let's see what this has to show us. Also, that kind of looks like an interesting place to go. Okay, so we're going right up to the desert, not necessarily into the desert yet. What is this? Brewing developments? A domain. Okay. Well, I guess, just gonna head... Oh. I guess we're just gonna head this way. Towards that. There's a bunch of stuff down there. Again, it looks very interesting. There's even a house over there. I suppose there's many houses. Hard to tell in first glance. So, I guess we head over here. I think there's a waypoint on the top of something over there. But I also see a Wave Rider symbol over here. And at least according to the map, it looks like it's landlocked. So I'm kind of curious as to why there would be a Wave Rider out here. I don't know, but it's inside one of those bad zones, and I don't really want to go into those unless... I mean, I don't quite know if I'm supposed to go into them on my own, or if I'm just supposed to go into them during story process. Then up here is a teleport point, so might as well grab it on the way. Gotta be careful not to run out of stamina. All right. It's kind of interesting that there's just houses scattered about. Like, I know that you usually build things up in a community, but I don't know, maybe they're not houses? I mean, like, those look like towers, like scouting towers or something. And over here, looks like we have an actual town of some sort. Maybe not a town. Oh, is this my destination? Okay, so this is like the border station or something. That makes a little more sense. All right.
Because things are so, ergo they are such.
So where are we going? All right, right here, I guess.
We finally made it to Caravan Rebak. It's pretty lively here. So, just past this wall is the desert, huh? Oh, wow. Paimon remembers hearing people call this the Wall of Samiel. It's made to block sandstorms from the outside. Oh, if it's this tall, it's gotta be the divine work of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, right?
It is indeed quite impressive. I mean, it doesn't really look like a wall
Enough gawking.
to me.
Come on, follow me.
Huh?
Oh, hey then.
Over here.
Oh, Haytham went that way! Let's hurry up and follow him. Wonder what he's up to.
So, those. I'm sure he wants us to help him. Oh, okay, fine. Don't let me get the teleport.
What the? Where did she go?
Was I being chased?
How did we lose them? They were just here a second ago.
More Eremite mercenaries? Who are they working for this time? Anyway, Traveler, it seems like we were being followed again.
You were too careless. You should have noticed those hopeless amateurs trailing you a long time ago.
Well, I was flying, so I didn't really think about it. But anyway, thanks. We couldn't have shaken them without you.
There's no need to thank me. I've never cared to keep track of personal favors. All I did was correct a mistake I happened to come across. It's a habit I developed at the academia.
You really gave Paimon a scare, Alhaitham. We never thought we'd run into you here. Last time we met at Port Ormos, didn't you say you were going back to the academia? Wait, don't tell Paimon that you're here to take us back on their orders!
Oh, so you've already landed yourselves on the academia's hit list. I can't say that I didn't expect it. However, had I wished to turn you over to the academia, don't you think you'd already be the Eremites' honored guests by now?
No, not necessarily.
Oh, right. You do have a point.
Did you participate in the Sage's big project?
I have no interest in running errands for that project. As a scholar, I've always belonged to the camp that promotes researcher autonomy. And these days, you're more fascinating than anything the Sages can offer.
So you're actually looking for me?
Not quite. To tell you the truth, I'm still investigating the Divine Knowledge Capsule. Unfortunately, I've run into some difficulties. Everyone says the capsule originated in the desert and was eventually moved to Port Ormos. If I am to get to the bottom of this, I must understand how the capsule first came to be. Which brings me back to you, and why you're so interesting. The leader of Ain al-Ahmar used the Divine Knowledge Capsule right in front of you, and upon seeing him, your expression became perplexed, and you were lost in thought for quite some time. To have that kind of reaction, I think you must have realized something. Are you interested at all in sharing what you've been hiding from me?
I haven't been hiding it from you. You haven't asked until now. It must be because I was so shocked to hear those words again. World, forget me.
Alhaitham, you really have a ridiculous eye for detail. What kind of person even notices or remembers stuff like that?
The situation is a little complicated, so I can't share what I know just yet.
So that's your answer. Well, I do work for the academia after all. So considering that, it is indeed wise to keep your cards close to your chest. But that does prove you do have some undisclosed information about the Divine Knowledge Capsule. Am I right? No matter. Rather than simply learning the answers from you, I'd still prefer to investigate on my own. Speaking of, you two are also headed to the desert?
I guess.
That's right. We have the same plan as you. But we don't really have any concrete goals at the moment.
Then I'd suggest starting with Aru Village. It's the largest settlement in the desert, so it'll probably have more resources and intel than anywhere else. Well, would you like to head there together?
Sounds good. Let's head there together then.
It's always better to travel with someone you know. Let's go!
I feel like we kind of just skipped over the meeting up with Tainari, though. Oh well. Again, it seems odd to me that we're going straight into the desert without really exploring any of this. Like, I realize that, like, down here, most of the story really only happened on this first island. And we just kind of, we're told to head over to Watatsumi Island, basically. And that's all that those, Kanazuka and Yashiari Islands, that's all that those were about. But still, at least it told us to go through them for our destination. Whereas up here, you know, I did uncover this mainly because I didn't know how to get out here in the first place. I had to travel north and around the chasm because I didn't realize that there was this tiny little hole in the wall, I guess, that led straight to here. If I had known that, I would have gone straight west, and this entire northern section wouldn't be uncovered at all. And then over here as well. I mean, we would have had Sumeru City uncovered probably, but that's about it. So, I don't know. It seems weird that we're...
I only wish life could be as leisurely as this a little more often. How greedy of me.
It just seems weird to me that we're immediately going into the desert. Because I would have thought that, like, the desert would be the purview of another Archon, like a Fire Archon or something. Because, well, fire and desert kind of go hand in hand. So, I don't know. Maybe it's just I haven't been exploring as much as of the new area, I guess, as I have in the past. Part of it's because there's just so much more to explore. But oh, hello.
Whirling snow.
Okay. We brought this thing here. Just another treasure.
Collecting rare and exquisite treasures. Yes.
I suppose the point that we're heading
Seems
to
suitably sophisticated.
is the that statue right there. Okay. And I could fight things along the way. But usually I just let it go unless they're actually in my way. Like I wasn't really thinking about those two mushroom things, but I suppose I could have just passed them by, but I was escorting one of those ghosts, and I didn't want to lose track of it, I guess. And looks like we might be here. Refugee shelters. Now, can I touch this before destination? Looks like it. All right. Wow, that opened up quite a bit. There's a bunch up there and a bit down there as well. I think up here was just added in the new expansion. So okay, so is this still a... It looks like it's still the Dendro statue. It is. Okay.
Before us lies Aru Village, the safe haven of the desert folk.
Whoa, this landscape is really something else. What a cool place! Let's go check it out!
Sino. Unless my memory fails me, we have barely spoken 2 words to each other before now at the Academia. Would you care to enlighten me as to when and how I invited the General Mahamatra's wrath?
That's a good question.
Oh, Hatham. Do not think you can escape my judgment just because you managed to escape my attack.
Judgment? So that's how you'd characterize your actions here, is it? Or would elimination perhaps be a more accurate description?
Had I used my full strength, not even this traveler would have been able to stop me. Though styled like an assassination, I sought only to ensure that my target would be unable to flee or resist. Standard practice for the Matra, as well you know.
Seemed to me more like your own personal touch.
Who is that, Alhaitham? Did you call him General Mahamatra?
Yes. General Mahamatra Sino, head of all the Matra at the Academia. He's a formidable hunter, and the ultimate nightmare for any who have committed academic crimes.
You seem to have placed a lot of trust in Alhaitham, to the point of blocking an attack for him. If I were you, I'd never choose to side with him. I wouldn't believe a single word that comes out of his mouth. I have been pursuing this scribe for a long time. I urge you, stand back and do not seek to defend him any longer. Otherwise, there will be consequences.
I don't trust him as much as you seem to think, but that doesn't mean I'm going to stand by and do nothing.
Has Alhaitham done something wrong? Paimon doesn't think he's as bad as you've made him out to be.
I won't waste my breath explaining things. Alhaitham, I saw it during our fight. Take it out. The divine knowledge capsule you're hiding on your person. Unless you want me to retrieve it for myself.
Very perceptive of you. Nothing escapes a Matra's senses.
Wait, the divine knowledge capsule? Didn't it fall into the Matra's hands in Port Ormos?
So you did lie to us.
No wonder you speak with such confidence, Sino. But I must admit, I'm very curious. What does this capsule mean to you? And why, as General Mahamatra of the Academia, are you all alone in the desert? As far as I'm aware, the other Matra have been speculating about your disappearance. Have you been given a mission that's, let's say, morally dubious? If I was the real target of your mission, what was stopping you from simply using your authority and resources to judge me within the walls of the Academia?
Is it a mission from the sages?
I should have known you'd be difficult to deal with.
You two? Ugh! What should we do, Traveler? Paimon feels like we can't trust either of them!
Ahem. Well, look at you two, acting all tough and self-righteous over there.
Wait, Dia? Great! Finally, someone that we can trust! You gotta help us out here, otherwise these two are gonna start fighting again!
Yeah, sure looks that way. 2 giants from the Academia duking it out once and for all. Not something you get to see every day, that's for sure. Listen, I know you academic types love to fill up your big brains with self-righteous morality and lord your empty rules and virtues over each other. But how dare you bring your petty disputes into the safe haven of Aru Village? It seems like someone's gonna have to beat some sense into your thick skulls until you finally learn to respect these grounds.
And now we have more of a standoff. Neither of them can afford to be distracted by Dea. They're still looking for an opportunity to attack.
Hey, did either of you hear a word I just said?
Whoa, what's going on? The wind's so strong! Is this a sandstorm? Paimon's gonna get blown away!
Another sandstorm? What's up with these recently?
Oh, there's somebody that stands out in the background.
Hey! All of you, over here, quickly!
We have to take cover.
Someone's calling for us! Oh, this wind is too strong! Let's get over there!
That sounded like Candace. Come on, you two. Jeez, are all of you academia folks such hard work? Move it!
And just let him stand there.
All right, stop yelling.
Yep. I guess we all have the same thing to say. What's Paimon got to say?
Well, this is pretty awkward. Hey, wanna play sardines with 3 people who wanna tear each other limb from limb? Sure, why not? Sounds fun. The air is so thick and heavy. Paimon can hardly keep floating anymore.
My sincere apologies, everyone. This is the home of our village chief. I will have to ask you to make do with this small room until the sandstorm dies down. Please, let me introduce myself. I am Candace, protector of Aru Village.
Our savior has come at last! Nice to meet you, Candace. The name's Paimon. Thank you so much for helping us.
You have my gratitude.
There's no need to thank me. It's only right to help each other when the weather gets rough.
Wow, she's so gentle and caring, like a nice older sister. Unlike those guys over there.
All right. Now that we're all better acquainted, we should return to the topic at hand. As a guardian charged with the responsibility to protect my fellow villagers from harm, I was observing your conflict from afar, even before the sandstorm started. And now that you have set foot within our village itself, it is all the more my responsibility to make absolutely sure that you pose no threat whatsoever to us.
So Sino isn't from the village? Is he just somebody that was following us? Or following him?
So please, have an honest and sincere conversation with one another, and put your hostile feelings to rest. If anyone dares to start anything again while they are under this roof, I will not hesitate to send them out for some quality time with the creatures of the sandstorm.
Oh, on second thought, Paimon may have misjudged Candace's character.
And that goes for you too, Miss Dia. Do I make myself clear?
All right, we got it, Candace.
That's what I like to hear. So, which of you will begin?
I was supposed to be a mediator, but I might have gotten a little too involved just now. Anyway, one of those two should probably start talking.
Wait, that was you trying to be a mediator?
I have nothing to hide, so there's no shame in explaining myself. While Alhaitham wasn't wrong about the other Matra not knowing my whereabouts, it's not because I've been assigned a morally dubious mission. Rather, I've chosen to exile myself.
Huh? Exile yourself?
A little while ago, I discovered that there was data missing in the Academia's project planning and development files. What little they did report clearly did not match the project's actual progress. As General Mahamatra, I had the responsibility and authority to request an audit. However, to my surprise, the person responsible for the erroneous data was none other than Grand Sage Azar himself. I tried to investigate the issue myself before submitting a formal audit request, but I soon found that all leads and potential pieces of incriminating evidence were carefully concealed from me.
As they would have to be.
I began to realize that they were cautious of me from the very beginning.
Yep.
Unsurprisingly, the Grand Sage rejected my audit request as soon as the submission reached his desk. He even said to me, "The power of the General Mahamatra is granted by the sages. You have no right to judge us."
Then there is no point in having assigned Sino the position in the first place.
So they really are up to no good.
I realized then that to the Grand Sage, the Matra are nothing more than tools for the sages to assert and maintain their control over knowledge. The vows that we took, the principles that we strive to uphold, they are meaningless to the academia of today.
So you then decided to exile yourself?
I believed it would be wise to flee the academia before the sages had a chance to take action against me. This way, they can no longer see nor predict my actions. I will never give up on this investigation. There's no need for someone else to give me power or authority. Once I find the truth, I will administer judgment by my own name.
Sino seems to have the same goal as us. We're all investigating the sages. Plus, now that he's no longer the General Mahamatra, he somehow feels a lot less scary.
It's still too early to trust him completely. What if the whole story was just made up?
Well, Sino, if that's your story, then why did you see Alhaitham as a target?
When I was investigating the matter in the academia, I overheard a conversation between Alhaitham and a sage. The sages asked you to investigate a blonde-haired traveler. Do you dispute this, Alhaitham?
What?
Like many parts of the project, this assignment was undocumented. Now throw in your suspicious behavior with the Divine Knowledge Capsule, and I think we deserve an explanation.
The sages were watching me from the very beginning. I mean, I don't see why you're surprised at this. You do kind of stand out.
Yes. I was indeed tasked with investigating the Traveler.
Alhaitham!
After all, the promised reward was so great that hardly any scholar could have refused. The sage told me, once you've completed this assignment, I can give you a glimpse of divine knowledge.
A most enticing offer.
Unfortunately, those academics don't know me at all. Their words contained one key piece of information, namely that divine knowledge indeed exists. That gave me all I needed to know. From my perspective, the sages are far from trustworthy. Think about it. Isn't it a little strange they're so willing to share divine knowledge with anyone, even as a reward? So, I began my own investigation following the lead of the Divine Knowledge Capsule. In the end, I realized my wisdom in committing to this rather than collaborating with the sages. Had I been less guarded, I probably would have ended up like that Ain al-Ahmar mercenary, incapable of remaining sane for long enough to hold a conversation.
You mean that the sages originally planned to dispose of you, using one of those capsules that drive people insane?
What about your encounter with me? Did you join forces with me just so you could investigate? That's a lot of me's.
I'd already given up on the assignment by then. I only told the Academia I was waiting in Port Ormos for you to appear so they wouldn't suspect anything. So it came as quite a surprise when I encountered my erstwhile target while investigating the Divine Knowledge Capsule.
Criminals do love to talk about coincidences.
Even though I ran into the Traveler by chance, I had no intention of providing assistance to the Academia. Also, you should remember, you were the ones who decided to follow me and strike up a conversation after I left that tavern.
Now that you mention it, I guess things did go like that.
That's true. Alhaitham helped us out at Caravan Rebat as well. Maybe he's telling the truth.
I'm willing to apologize, if that's worth anything to you. I took the Divine Knowledge Capsule behind your back because I judged its existence to be a significant risk. I felt that it would be best for no one to interact with it before it had been properly studied. After all, curiosity often proves to be the most dangerous thing in this land.
You should be well aware, Scribe Alhaitham, that curiosity can also lead you to danger and suspicion. Answer me this. Did the sages share any information about their project with you?
Have I not made myself clear? You and I are both distrusted by the Academia. Do you really think they would tell me anything?
Fine. Although you haven't completely proven your innocence, I won't regard you as an enemy, for now.
As you wish.
Mm-hmm. Good. I'm glad to see you two clearing up your misunderstandings. And now you, Dia. I believe it's your turn.
Oh, sorry. Whatever the boys were talking about must have been so boring that I spaced out. My situation is pretty straightforward. My employer, Dunyarzad of the Homayani family, is friends with the Traveler and is currently recovering from her illness at home. I had nothing going on, so I decided to return to Aru Village for a visit. I was actually looking forward to a pretty exciting time getting back together with everyone here. But then I saw these two random guys in the middle of a pointless argument. It ticked me off, and things went downhill from there.
Is that all? Well, I will admit that definitely sounds like your style. In that case, welcome back, Dia.
That's more like it. I missed you all so much, Candace.
Whoa! What was that sound?
No need to worry. Now that you're no longer at each other's throats, please make yourselves at home. I'll take a quick trip outside to clear out some of those creatures in the sandstorm.
Creatures? In the sandstorm? Are you sure you don't want some backup?
Fighting in a sandstorm is not for the faint-hearted. Anyone without extensive training in these conditions is at a disadvantage. You needn't worry.
Yeah, just leave them to Candace. Don't worry, she's as tough as they come.
After a while, the winds outside begin to calm.
The winds died down. That means the sandstorm's over, right? Candace still isn't back yet, though. Is she alright? Maybe we should go out and check on her.
When you put it that way, even I'm starting to feel a little worried. All right, let's go. We've been here long enough, and the boys are as chatty as the floor.
All right. Am I still in the same... Yep, still Chapter 3, Act 3. Okay. Wasn't sure if it had ended and a new one began or not. Because it seemed like heading to the desert might have been a good spot for it to start. Also, what's... Ah, right, quests. It's been a while since I've seen those. You get the waypoint here. And it looks like going this way. Wait, why this way? It looks like it's back there. Oh, is it just because we're going down the steps?
Join the Eremites and embrace a wonderful new life.
Okay. Now we're heading the right direction. Alright, so... these things.
Oh, Candace, you're still fighting? You've been out here dealing with these creatures the entire time?
Yes. They just keep coming in waves. I've lost count of how many I've defeated. Before I realized it, even the sandstorm had stopped.
And not only is she really strong, her stamina is also something else.
Ah, here comes another wave!
Leave this round to us. I got interrupted earlier, but now I have something to take my anger out on.
It's been quite a while since I've seen the Flame Mane in action. I'll leave these to you then.
I'll be sure to put on a good show. Let's go! Yeah, take flight!
Say that, but...
Sakura Swirl!
Oh, he moved.
Here comes another wave! When are they ever gonna let up? creatures stopped appearing. Was that the last of them?
What we fought just now was probably the aftermath of the sandstorm. So we should be safe for the time being.
Well fought, everyone. No injuries, I hope.
Huh? Who are you?
Ah, my apologies. I haven't had a chance to greet you yet. I had my hands full taking care of the village's elderly and children. I am the chief of Aru Village. Everyone usually calls me Uncle Anpu.
It's a pleasure to meet you. Sorry for all the trouble.
Sir, I am also originally from the desert, but I have not been back for some time now. May I ask if such sandstorms are common?
I can't say they've always been common, but recently the storms have become increasingly severe and frequent. Besides sandstorms, we also occasionally get earthquakes. According to an investigator who stayed in the village a while ago, these unusual natural phenomena are related to the withering of Irminsul.
Another effect of Irminsul's withering. So, Irminsul's withering causes withering zones in the forest, and sandstorms and earthquakes here in the desert?
Everything in the natural world is inextricably connected to Irminsul. These regional symptoms can indeed be a reflection of Irminsul's present state.
Everyone in Aru Village needs to take good care of themselves. Speaking of which, why haven't I seen a single village keeper since I got here?
Village keeper? Who are they? Village guards like Candace?
Does your curiosity know no bounds? Village Keeper is how Aru Village refers to mad scholars exiled here by the academia.
You can't say something like curiosity, asking me if my curiosity knows no bounds. This is a land of the academics, so that's got to be a common thing around here, you know? You wouldn't want to be studying about things if you didn't have curiosity about them.
Most of them are scholars who lost their sanity after a period of training in the Avidia forest. The academia believes that their crazed mutterings may have a negative effect on the psyches of other scholars. So, they're forcibly exiled to the desert. Though if you ask me, it's all a boatload of nonsense.
Hypatia was also nearly exiled to the desert.
Alas, that's exactly what we've been trying to investigate. One by one, the village keepers have been mysteriously disappearing without a trace. But no one in the village has ever seen them leave. If you're planning to stay around the village for the next few days, I'd appreciate it if you could keep an eye out for them.
I've had encounters with those people in the past. I'll see what I can do to help.
The Matra are the ones responsible for their exile. Now that you're no longer with them, are you trying to alleviate your guilt and atone for your past sins? I'm fascinated by how you think.
Mock me if you will, but if you are guilty, I will eliminate you, regardless of my position or identity.
Oh, you're the former General Mahamatra. You must be an expert in these kinds of investigations. Thank you for your help.
I mean, yeah, he's the former one, so who's the current one? I'll help too.
Is it because you're reminded of Hypatia? Oh, these poor scholars. First they lose their sanity, now this! We need to help get them back home, safe and sound. But, is it really a good idea to tag along with Sino? You seem like you really don't trust him.
That's why this is a great opportunity to watch him. It'll be fine. Dea and the others are here too.
I'll be grateful for the assistance. No doubt you will do a better job than some of my former subordinates. Let's start by finding a spot to share what we know so far.
Maybe back at the house?
I'll protect us.
Or not. I mean, it looks like we're heading somewhere else. Alright, so up the stairs. and to a bridge, it looks like. What's up here? And we might just be outside the house.
Although I've sent myself into exile, I'm still doing essentially the same things as before. Do you still have any questions for me before we start our investigation?
Why do they refer to mad scholars as village keepers?
One of my former subordinates told me that this title has its origins in a strange incident. The Academia has long exiled mad scholars to Aru Village. A mysterious phenomenon exists here. When mad scholars first arrive, they are as incoherent and deranged as before. But after spending some time here, they invariably begin to calm down. Initially, the people of Aru Village greatly resented having to take in the mad scholars. But a strange incident one night changed that. Aru Village was struck by the strongest earthquake in living memory. Seeing buildings on the verge of collapse all around him, the then chief of the village was preparing to take everyone to safety. Suddenly, he noticed a mad scholar crouching in a corner, caressing the ground with his hands. A soft, green light radiated from him, like a divine glow against the backdrop of night. Despite the powerful tremors that ripped through the ground that night, all the houses remained upright, almost as if they had grown roots reaching deep into the ground. In the end, not a single building collapsed, and no one was hurt.
I mean, growing roots into the ground wouldn't stop a house from being broken down by an earthquake, though. But whatever.
After that, the people of Aru Village treated the mad scholars with greater kindness, and began to refer to them as the village keepers.
A soft green light? A mad scholar protecting Aru Village? What do you make of it, Traveler?
Must have been Nahida's power. Only she could be capable of that.
Paimon thinks so too. Actually, Sino, do you know if any of the mad scholars continued to wear their Akasha terminals at Aru Village?
In theory, they would continue wearing them so the Academia could still monitor their activities. With that said, the main Akasha system would no longer have any interaction with them.
Oh, no wonder! Everything makes sense then! Add in the fact that they calmed down, it was probably Nahida who calmed them.
If you are able to draw a conclusion from this one story alone, then it appears you possess much more information than I do. So, what do you make of the story?
The Mad Scholar's power likely came from Lesser Lord Kusanali, or Lesser Lord Kusanali was actually the one who protected the village. I'm gonna go with the second one.
Really? Lesser Lord Kusanali.
What? You don't believe us? Lesser Lord Kusanali was definitely using the Akasha to give her power to the mad scholars!
No, it's not so much that I don't believe you. I'm just struck by your reasoning. Lesser Lord Kusanali, the current Dendro Archon, is she really active in Sumeru? The Academia has always placed far greater importance on the late Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. They've more or less ignored Lesser Lord Kusanali, and I've never had any reason to doubt their views.
Yeah, but again, they've ignored Lesser Lord Kusanali for 500 plus years, so it's not really a thing that you would normally be worried about after 500 years. You know, that it would just be, that's how it is. I'm still trying to wrap my head around how something that happens 500 years ago has so much of an impact on the current time.
In addition, I've never heard any stories about Lesser Lord Kusanali and her deeds. To me, she might as well have been a god that never existed.
No way! Nahida definitely exists! She's a... how should Paimon put it? She's a good Archon who's kind and wise. Even if she says weird stuff sometimes.
She also saved me once not long ago.
I've spent many years interrogating criminals, so I can easily tell when someone is lying.
Good! Then you should know that we're telling the truth.
That look in your eyes. I've never seen that from a liar. You two really must have met Lesser Lord Kusanali. How can this be? To think, our Archon has been amongst us this entire time.
Alright, now it's our turn to put our skills to good use for this investigation.
You betcha.
But easier said than done, especially since we don't have any leads. Maybe we can start by knocking on some doors.
Excuse me, are you here to help me find my grandpa?
I don't know why you'd think that, but...
Huh? Who are you?
By the sounds of it, a resident of this village.
My name is Isak. You'll help me find my grandpa, right?
Is your grandpa a mad scholar?
Hey, don't say that. Grandpa is just Grandpa. Why do you have to call him that? It's not like he's a bad person or anything.
The person you're referring to is not a local, yet you are. Why do you call him Grandpa?
Grandpa is just Grandpa. He's my family. I heard everything you said to the village chief. Please, you gotta take me with you. I want to find my grandpa. I swear I'll help. I won't be a nuisance.
So much for finding a place to talk about stuff where nobody could hear you.
Ah, so you're the one who was eavesdropping on us around the village chief's house. I was planning to go out and take care of whoever it was, but I had a vague feeling that they didn't harbor any ill intent.
Whoa. Haven wasn't kidding about Matra having sharp senses. Sino, he's just a kid. All he wants is to find his grandpa. Let's find a way to help him.
Sorry, I was only listening in because I wanted to know where Grandpa went. Honest. If you don't believe me, you can ask Miss Candace.
Please help him, Sino.
All right. But first, let's confirm the facts with Candace.
Sure. Think it's back up this way? Yeah. Into the house we go. There we go. Fingers on the wrong buttons. To approach the house, Sino asks the kid to wait.
Is super vigilant. Is this what all the Matra are like?
Ah, you're back already.
We just wanted to confirm something with you. Do you know a boy by the name of Isak?
You know, if you just told him to wait outside, he can still hear what's going on.
I had a feeling he'd go looking for you.
Huh? You knew this would happen?
Yes. Although he tried his best to stay hidden, I still noticed him eavesdropping outside the window. He really wants to get his grandfather back. Isak's parents were both Aramite mercenaries who rarely returned to the village after finding employment in the city. He was raised by his grandfather. Unfortunately, it was only a few years before his grandpa passed away. Isak was still very young at the time, so various families in the village took turns caring for him so he could survive. Later, an elderly mad scholar arrived at the village. Isak thought the scholar bore a striking resemblance to his grandfather, and thus often spied on the man.
Alright, why have we suddenly switched to calling them mad scholars from village keepers?
However, the scholar was unkempt in appearance and incoherent in speech. Although Isak referred to the man as his grandpa, he was afraid and didn't dare to approach him. One summer night, the oft mumbling and bumbling Grandpa suddenly calmed down and seemed to become more lucid. He even noticed Isak hiding in the distance. So Grandpa walked up to Isak and patted him on the head. He even took Isak to the entrance of the village, where he patiently taught the boy the names of the stars and accompanied Isak until he fell asleep. The next morning, Isak woke up and wanted to go find his grandpa again, only to realize his grandpa no longer recognized him. However, even so, Grandpa retained his calm expression. It's said that those who saw the scholar claimed he no longer appeared to be crazy, but appeared to be living in his own world, almost as if he were sleepwalking. Isak was thrilled that his grandpa was able to find peace and would follow him all the time, asking him things like, "Grandpa, want me to take you somewhere fun?" Or, "Grandpa, could you tell me stories about the stars again?"
All this somehow just makes Paimon feel really sad. It seems like they both deserve so much better.
Perhaps. Nearly everyone who lives in the desert has some form of hardship or regret. But even so, we must still continue on with our lives. It's also my reason for fighting. I must continue to protect this land.
Lucid Grandpa was probably Nahida. She must have soothed the other mad scholars as well. The look on Sinos' face, he's probably connected to the dots as well.
Maybe the people have always had a considerate god watching over them.
Huh? What did you say, Sino?
No, nothing. As long as Esau keeps his word and doesn't get in our way, we can take him along.
Perhaps you are more compassionate than I gave you credit for. Please accept my thanks on Isak's behalf, Sino.
Alright, so...
Hey, Isak!
Oh, going right back into it.
Oh, it's you guys!
We've cleared everything up. Let's go find your grandpa.
Really? Wow! Thank you so much!
Your grandpa will be found safe and sound.
Yeah!
Alright. Let's ask the local residents some questions first.
Sure. Oh, was that the end of the chapter? It is. Chapter 3, Act 4 is what we're on now. Okay. So, again, though, like, why is the desert considered part of the Dendro Empire? The only thing I could think of is that the desert used to be as lush and vibrant as the rainforest. But, like, something happened, and so now it's a desert. So, again, though, it's hard for me to be picturing the desert as a Dendro territory and not fire. But anyway, that was the
Blade is like a tea leaf.
end of
Only those who sample it many times can appreciate its true quality.
the chapter. So, sorry, I sometimes find it difficult to talk over the characters that are talking. So I said I was going to do some wishes once I was done with the chapter. So let's just get right into it. Hopefully, I don't have to roll too much. I know worst comes to worst, it's 180 to get it. But let's see how this goes. So from these two banners, I've only got this ninja girl. I can't remember her name off the top of my head. And I was, of course, when the banner first drops, you get the ability to try out the characters. I don't know how good the Ice Girl and the Merchant Lady is. I'd have to play around a little more to figure out how their stuff works well, but they don't seem all that great at the moment. They probably, I mean, they could be. I just don't know enough about game mechanics to make a decision. But I wouldn't mind having them to fill out the collection anyway. So I guess let's just get to wishing. So, first 10. And obviously, every 10 I'm going to get a purple. So that's not a big thing. So, a couple of blue weapons. Oh. And then we get a Favonius sword. I guess the Favonius weapons are good. Oh, was that also? No, it was just the sword. Okay. For some reason, I thought the spear was something different. Okay, so that was 10. Let's continue. So here goes for 20. And we get a purple again. And we get Layla. All right. It's not bad. Again, I don't have her, or didn't have her yet, so that's a good thing. I have no problem with that. And really, almost every 4-star thing is good for me, just because I haven't been playing that long. And so I can pretty much make use of everyone and every item. It's interesting. I know that she's an ice character, but I've kind of had a streak of getting ice characters, so... Alright, so that was 20. Here goes 10 more. And for 30, looks like we get another purple. And we get her again. Okay. Oh, hello. And this guy, I forget how to pronounce his name, but he's supposedly good. So, 2 4-stars back to back. That's not bad. And of course, a lot of 3-star weapons. So, okay. That was 30. So here we go with 40. Let's see what we get. More purple. Okay. And a new character. We get Dory. And the genie thing. I mean, maybe they're both genies? I don't know. And then the rest of the 3-stars. All right. Something I should also look into is if I can get multiple, like, Tales of the Dragon, whatever, apparently is good for buffing other characters. I'm wondering if I can equip that on multiple characters to get a multiple stacking buff or something. Okay, so that was 40. So let's go for 50. What do we get? More purple. The stringless. Okay, I think I have that one already, but I'm not certain. So maybe I can use it to make the other one better, or again, if it's good enough for multiple characters to wield, maybe have multiple characters with it. Oh, and we get Shinobu. That's pretty good. Another double 4-star, I guess. It's not bad, I don't think. Okay, so at this point I've gotten all 3 of the 4 stars, and just trying to get the 5-star. Alright, more purple. And I guess I'm not just limited to the 3 4-stars that are listed. I suppose it could be somebody else. It's just that those 3 are the most likely to be gotten. The Eye of Perception. Alright. What does this do? Alright, so Echo. Normal and charge attacks have 50% chance to fire Bolt of Perception, dealing 240% attack as damage. Bolt can bounce between opponents a maximum of 4 times. Can happen once every 12 seconds. So it can do 240% attack damage 4 times. A 50% chance. I mean, with normal attacks, that would be hard to do. But it sounds like it'd be more for a character that is a primary fighter, I guess, or somebody who stays out rather than as a support character. Well, I guess let's keep going. It's looking like not getting very lucky this time around as far as the 5-star goes, but that's okay. Alright, another Shinobu. Never hurts to make characters stronger. Sometimes you need the higher level constellations to get good benefits. I mean, that's the whole reason I started using Beto in the first place, is I ended up with like 5 of her and unlocked almost her entire constellation. Alright, what do we have this time? Hey, there we go. I should have been paying more attention to how many I've rolled. I kind of stopped halfway through. And it's Nahida. Oh, and we get another stringless as well. Alright, so I got her. What does the stringless do? Arrowless Song increases elemental skill and burst damage by 24%. And it's elemental mastery. I guess that's not bad. So, hey, there we go. Nahida. Now the question is, with only 4,000 left, do I try for Nilo, or do I save for the next banners? I mean, I guess I don't have to make a decision right now. I've got almost 19 days to think about it. So I think for now, I'm gonna just hold on to my gems and probably in next week sometime make a decision, or maybe the week after. 2 weeks is 14 days, so yeah. I think I'm gonna save up. I managed to make the 50% chance that I get Nahida, So I don't need to worry about this banner anymore unless I wanted another Nahida, which is unlikely to happen. So let me just take a look here. How many did I roll on this one? So there's 5, 10, wait. Oh, this is going back to, yeah, Yaka banner as well. Alright, let me skip ahead to today's date. Yeah, still 3. No? No, this is going backwards. Alright, well, I guess it doesn't show up yet. Maybe it takes some time for the ones I currently did to show up. So, I mean, I think that was like 70. I'm not exactly sure. But I got it, so I'm happy with that. And I'll have to try to figure out if I can have her as a main character or not. I mean, it's getting to the point where I don't really know who I want in the main party. Again, it's
A blade embraces its duty,
partly
as a jeweler
because
cherishes their gems.
there's just so many characters and can only have 4 at a time. But I suppose I can upgrade these constellations. Already had his first one open. Okay, well, now I have 2 of his. I didn't realize I had that many of him. And then this one, I can activate a couple at least. So yeah, she's up to Constellation 3. And this one is, I'm sorry, that would be a Constellation of 2, wouldn't it? Because Constellation 0 is just the main character and nothing extra. Okay, well then. I guess at this point, let's see.
I only wish life could be as leisurely as this.
I could continue on with that. Let me see if there's a story quest that I have available, though. I've got 2 keys. Still haven't unlocked any of this stuff, but I have Tainari and Nilo available. Oh, right, and Nahida's got an Act 2 now. I think that was a new thing that was added in the new update. I know I should probably do Mona's, but again, haven't met her. Don't know who she is in the story, technically. So I would much rather go with somebody that I know over that I don't know. So I think I might just unlock Raiden's, Shogun's story and see what that's about. So yeah, let's do this then. So navigate. You decide to pay the statue of omnipresent God a visit.
How great.
Alright, so, and I'm guessing that's all the way over here somewhere. Yeah, back out here again. Although it's interesting that she's not in her castle. So, let's go say hi to the Raiden Shogun. Alright, Oh, right. I guess she'd be outside by the statue. That'd make sense. Did say we wanted to.
If the Tenryo Commission won't assist in dealing with the thunderstorm, the consequences could be catastrophic.
Oh, I guess she's not out here. I guess this is Toma.
It's not that we're unwilling to do our part. We just don't have any spare hands right now. I hope you can understand.
Exactly. So let's keep the discussion going and see if we can find a solution.
Hey, Toma! What's going on?
Ah, hello you two. We were just talking about what an impact you've made in Inazuma.
What a coincidence.
Greetings. Thank you both again for delivering Miss Hiragi's letter that time.
Ah, so they're friends of yours. I'm Master Kamaji's servant. Call me Ippe.
Sounds like you're having some trouble.
Well, the Tri-Commission's work used to consist of gathering information for the Shogun and carrying out any duties she assigned. But recently, she announced that she wishes to spend some time in solitude and self-reflection. Since she is refusing to receive any visitors, there is no one to tell us what to do. We all understand if the Shogun needs some quiet time to gather her thoughts. The only problem is, in the meantime, the thunderstorm out at sea has been getting wilder.
I hear that storm represents the Shogun's will.
Yep, that's the one. And all the time it's been there, the storm has never changed in shape or size. But now, it seems to be drawing closer to Inazuma.
What? So her will's changed and she wants to destroy Inazuma now? Or is this her way of trying to get revenge on us?
Or maybe she's just trying to tighten her grasp. I don't know. Just because the storm's heading closer doesn't mean that it's the intent is destruction. Maybe she just wants to protect it even more. That'd be a little childish. Are you really scared of her?
Nuh-uh! She lost to us! Paimon's not scared! Why would Paimon be scared? Paimon's just, a little concerned that she might be angry. Yeah, that's all. Just a little concerned.
I don't think you need to worry about that. The reason we're concerned is that we've never known the Almighty Shogun's will to falter before.
Considering Liyue's god left not too long ago, it's hard not to take it as a bad sign. A lot of people now believe that the thunderstorm is getting wilder because the Almighty Shogun is having health problems. The fact that she won't see anyone right now makes us concerned that things are only going to get worse.
That seems like a valid concern. There must be a reason for the change in the storm.
Right. So, before rumors start spreading, Miss Kamisato got me to come here and discuss countermeasures with the Tenryo Commission. We need to make sure we're prepared to deal with the chaos if and when it arrives.
Unfortunately, the reality is that the Tenryo Commission is facing huge internal instability at the moment. The Kujo clan has lost control over the other clans.
Huh? Why is that?
The Kujo clan is still awaiting the Shogun's trial for colluding with the Fatui and nearly destroying the whole of Inazuma. Everyone knows that a change of commissioner is inevitable. It's just a matter of time before the Almighty Shogun hands down her decree.
To put it simply, no one will take orders from the Kujo clan anymore. But there's still work that has to be done.
If Mr. Takayuki was in better health, there might be a way through. But now?
My lack of ability is to blame. I failed to uncover the truth in time, and I failed to stop my father. And now, as acting head of the clan, I'm failing to quell the unrest.
Don't blame yourself, Master. You have to at least keep your chin up until your older brother returns. The Kujo clan can't cope with any more instability in its current state.
Yes, you're right. Masahito has enough on his plate at the moment. Mustn't cause any more issues for him. Okay, Toma, let's revisit this discussion in a few days. Right now, I need to go visit Takatsukasa Susumu, head of the Takatsukasa clan. He's the only one capable of taking charge of the situation now.
I suppose. Well, okay, no problem. A speedy resolution to the Tenryo Commission's internal issues is in our best interest as well.
I'll come with you, Master.
No need. I'll handle this by myself.
Oh, okay. Take care then. Come back soon.
If you think about it, both the thunderstorm situation and the issue with the Tenryo Commission have been caused by the Shogun's decision to take some time off, right? If things carry on like this, people will start to panic.
Maybe we could invite her out for a while?
Huh? You can actually do that?
I don't know. Apparently it's the first thing that came to mind.
Don't know for sure, but we may as well try. Whether she takes us up on the offer or not will depend on what mood she's in.
Sounds like you guys know what to do. Shall I leave it up to you then? You know, everyone's worrying about the Shogun's condition, but if people got to see her in person, it would put their fears to rest.
I'll try.
Thank you very much. I owe you one, again.
The way Paimon sees it, there's only one person who might have the chance to see the Shogun while she's isolating, right? Let's take a trip to the Grand Narukami Shrine.
All right. To the shrine we go. It's way up here? Yes. So glad I have teleports. You had to run everywhere. That would be a little difficult. Make sure she's not standing behind me. And go in here. As usual, she is at the tree, which we've apparently cleansed.
I wasn't expecting to receive VIP shrine visitors during downtime. So I suppose you're here just to visit me?
Yes, I was.
What a smooth talker. Though your eyes do not lie as convincingly as your tongue. You came because you need my help, didn't you? Still, your answer has put me in a good mood. So tell me, what is the matter?
We heard the Shogun decided to take a break, and since then the thunderstorm around Inazuma has gotten wilder.
It hasn't gotten wilder, it's gotten closer.
Rumor has it that the thunderstorm is affected by the Shogun's will, so people are worrying that something might be wrong with her.
The Tenryou Commission also needs help. The Tenryou Commission also needs her attention.
All right. There's little purpose in keeping anything hidden from you anyway. Since the battle, the Shogun has been greatly troubled and her temperament has changed drastically.
What?
Her temperament has changed? That's hard to believe.
Her power was already on the decline. Then you dealt her that fateful strike.
And you got rid of her gnosis.
The defeat was a heavy blow to her. It also didn't help that I forgot to bring her some tricolor dango and light novels when I went to see her. Oh, the poor thing. Without desserts and books to console herself with, she was so angry she quite simply lost it. Crying and ranting and raving. Oh, I could hardly bear to see her that way.
You expect us to believe that a god would throw a temper tantrum over something like that?
Why not? It's not beyond the realm of possibility.
Before you get too indignant, consider the fact that your concerns sound every bit as nonsensical to me as that blatant lie did to you. A seeks eternity. To her, mortal lives come and go in the blink of an eye. Of what consequence to her are mortal concerns for her well-being?
You're saying she's fine, right?
I don't know the details. She said she wanted to rest, and I have nothing pressing that requires her attention, so there is no reason to disturb her. I have heard about the thunderstorm, though. As to the cause, it is not inconceivable that, as you suggest, her will has wavered somewhat.
All the more reason to check on her.
I am the only one in all of Inazuma who can visit her while she is resting. But tell me, why should this concern me? Why should I do this for you, when I already have everything one could ever want, and have seen everything one could ever wish to see?
I mean, I suppose this is the answer we're going for, but I don't think it's an answer that she would care about. So I would say do it for A.
I like that answer. Here is the pass permit. Show it to the Okuzumeshu at the gate, and he will let you in.
Thanks, Miko!
My question was in jest, but since you answered it in earnest, please stay true to your word. Oh, and don't forget to return the pass permit to me after you have finished with it.
Why? Is that the way that you're able to go to her? Like, if I don't return it, does that mean you no longer have the ability to? And I don't have enough to donate to that. So, off to the castle. Always facing the wrong way. Don't mind me, I'm just passing through. You know, as much as there is to this castle, it's a shame that we didn't get to do more here. Like, there just seems so much to it that more things could have been able to happen here rather than just outside its gates. Oh, and the line disappeared. I looked away for just a second, and it's gone. Alright, so I'm... okay.
The Almighty Shogun has requested solitude. No visitors allowed.
Oh, we've got a pass permit from Miko.
Don't be ridiculous. Lady Guji never gives her pass permit to another person. Not even esteemed travelers like yourselves.
Well, maybe you should open your eyes and look.
Guji Ai is only authorized to hold that pass permit because of the trust that the Almighty Shogun places in her, and her alone. Wait, this is... authentic!
Yes, yes it is. But, you know, feel free to check with Miko.
Understood. Then as the Shogun has ordered, I must not stand in your way. Apologies. Please proceed. Since the Shogun is resting at this time, please be especially respectful, and make sure your behavior is impeccable.
I'll try. No guarantees, though. And she doesn't seem like she's in quiet contemplation. She seems to be pacing. And it hasn't been that long, otherwise she would have worn a tread in the floor.
Look how she's pacing back and forth. Don't you think she looks a little anxious?
Well, then again, I suppose she's not walking in a strictly back and forth manner. She is walking in several places. Yep, why does the line do a zigzag right here?
How did you get in?
Through the front door.
Trespassers are to be eliminated at once.
Go ahead and try.
Wait, no, it's us! Why are you treating us like we're your enemies? We made amends, didn't we? Also, we got in by totally legitimate means!
Denied. Use of force has been forbidden. Anyway, be gone. Do not disturb my solitude.
Bidden? Why? Is everything okay?
That is of no concern. This is my recuperation state.
What did you make of this? She's acting strange, huh?
I wouldn't ask, has she ever been like this before? I don't think Paimon would know. Do puppets really need rest and relaxation? I mean, that's not really a good question either, as true as it is.
This body has no need of rest, but I am an assistant to the one within. If she wishes to rest, I must follow her will.
It doesn't seem like you want to, though.
Paimon gets it, so this is all A's doing. But why? Surely you going about your business doesn't interfere with the plane of euthymia. She's got plenty of space in there. Seems like it would be the perfect place for rest and relaxation.
I do as she wishes. I can say no more than this.
Why not put their minds at rest? Everyone's worried and wants to see you. Yeah.
I cannot. In my current state, even if I went out, I could do nothing.
You don't have to do anything, you just need to make an appearance. That's the problem.
I am currently unwilling to deal with any business. I am also incapable of it.
What do you mean by that?
It has been forbidden. Please refrain from making me talk any further.
Well, let me talk to her then.
What should we do? It feels like this conversation is going nowhere.
Are you sick? I don't want to say have you malfunctioned. I wouldn't consider her, like, maybe I'd say this to Catherine if it came up, but this just seems more like a puppet, as they've said, than a construction, so, or an automaton, perhaps?
Ah, it's you two. It's been a while. The Shogun can't do much at the moment. Come straight in and see me.
All right. That's what I was hoping for. And here we are, here again. You know, I never really got the chance to look around, but I do kind of wonder.
As a jeweler cherishes their gems.
Like, she is the one that designed this place, but why design it in such a way? Why design it in such a way that you have all these what are they called, Tori? All over the place and half covered in sand. I mean, I understand the spot in the middle is more of like a Zen garden type thing, but
a blade is like a tea.
Everything else
only those who sample
seems a
it
bit
many
odd.
times can appreciate its true qualities.
But let's see what she has to say.
That was terrifying! Would it be so hard to give us a little warning first?
For her, probably. I mean, she's not accustomed to it, and we were there, so this is exactly what we wanted.
Huh, it's not your first time. I don't see what there is to be so alarmed about.
Exactly.
So, is the Shogun broken? Are you gonna get it fixed, or...?
Don't worry. The Shogun's not broken. I've just temporarily disabled many of her functions. Currently, the Shogun is unable to handle any business and cannot appear as me. So the easiest solution was to announce that I am resting.
That's what she meant by forbidden. So it was all you're doing.
As I said, I need to think about Inazuma's eternity, and thinking takes time.
Yes, it does. And I understand that as much as immortals perceive time differently than mortals, that doesn't mean you go any slower. I mean, a day passing is still a day passing. Unless you go into some kind of torpor or something. I don't know.
But the Shogun is still running based on her old rules. I can't allow her to make any mistakes while I am working things out.
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
Wow.
No. She was not created to ever be turned off. Furthermore, I had even predicted at the time that I may wish to modify the Shogun's operational rules at some point in the future. However, such changes would not be conducive to eternity.
Yeah, that in itself kind of seems as a contradiction. You're so strict with yourself.
That's why the Shogun has a robust system to safeguard against modification. It's also to protect against unforeseen circumstances. For now, while I figure out the form that eternity should take, It's more effective for me to temporarily disable some of the puppet's functions, rather than attempt to modify her rules.
Oh, Paimon gets it now! The thunderstorm's getting out of control because some of the Shogun's functions have been disabled!
Hmm? The thunderstorm is getting out of control? This is the first I've heard of it.
Well, you're not letting anyone talk to you, so of course it's the first you've heard of it.
Huh? Okay, well, let us bring you up to speed.
You and Paimon tell... Wow,
I see.
okay.
So the thunderstorm is drawing closer.
I assume we've told her about the thunderstorm drawing closer. I have no idea what that said.
You can fix it, right?
It's just a minor error. This kind of thing was bound to happen. A small modification to the Shogun should fix it.
So everyone was worked up over nothing. I mean, no. They weren't worked up over nothing. It's just that nobody could get in contact with her to let her know that something was wrong.
Don't look at me like that. I've never had to tinker with the Shogun before, and she's very complicated. It's practically inevitable for something to go wrong when you start tweaking things. Yes, that's it. I'm not making excuses. It's the truth.
I mean, it is still the truth, even if you are making excuses.
It's fine, just as long as you can fix it is all.
Any progress on your thoughts about eternity?
Not much. As before, I can see the way forward, yet there are still contradictions. But there is no urgency. To reach an ill-conceived verdict in haste, just for the sake of having reached one, would be a confusion of priorities.
Come with us. Get a change of pace.
Hmm?
If everyone sees that the Shogun is in good health, it'll put all the speculation and rumors out there to rest. And who knows? A change of scenery might put you in a different mood and give you some fresh inspiration.
You mean, leave the plane of euthymia?
Might do everyone some good. You haven't left in a long time, I'll bet.
It's unnecessary, as far as I'm concerned. But since you're inviting me, a change of pace might well be nice. All right then. I'll come out for a while. Oh, since the theme of the day is a change of pace, you can just call me A. I'm not a great fan of rigid titles.
What? But you're just A's consciousness, aren't you? Can consciousness actually leave this place?
And she is a puppet to inhabit.
I have my ways. I would never subject myself to imprisonment voluntarily.
Oh, great! Then there's nothing to worry about. Allow us to be your tour guides.
Tour guides? What's a tour guide?
Yeah, you haven't been out in a while.
Someone to show you around the Inazuma of today and give you tips on where to eat and how to have fun. All right, let's go!
I like this angle. Gives a little bit more of an idea of like the circles and obviously the lightning pattern on the ground. All right, go out for a walk. Where are we going to walk to? All the way down there? Oh, let's teleport. Oh, if it's going to that the shop, maybe we'll actually get that opened up, because for some reason it's they've got nothing for me. I've been curious about that. I think the sparkly line is confused. It walks past the destination and then comes back.
Oh, is this the marketplace? It's a far cry from how I remember it.
Well, you know, if you haven't come out of your shell in 500 years.
Huh, the stores have changed, And so have the vendors. Well, that's to be expected.
It's the Shogun! What is the almighty Shogun doing here?
Isn't the Shogun sick? This is quite sudden.
I appear to have frightened the people.
Well, what did you expect? The almighty Shogun makes an impromptu appearance in town? People are gonna freak out a bit.
It seems a bit of an overreaction. Doesn't the Shogun normally patrol these parts?
Patrolling the streets is the Tenryou Commission's job. The Shogun has a lot of information to process and orders to give out. She doesn't have time to deal with it herself. Additionally, the Shogun has no need of recreation. There would be no need for her to come here just to pass the time or to relax.
So, what do we do now? Should we go away for a while and make a more low-profile return later?
It's too late for that.
Why? It's not like I'm here to cause trouble. Let's just relax.
It was more the ordinary people that Paimon was worried about. Never mind. This definitely seems like your style, eh?
People still use Mora in commercial transactions, I assume.
Yep, same as ever. Just as shiny and just as hypnotic. Wait a second. Hey, are you saying you don't have any Mora either?
Of course I don't. There is no need for commerce in the plane of Euthymia. If I ever need something, I can simply have one of the commissions bring it to me. Wait, what do you mean, either?
Nothing.
Anyway, people seem to be behaving in a very orderly fashion. I don't see the liveliness you spoke of anywhere.
People aren't exactly gonna let their hair down in front of the almighty Shogun.
Also, you must have missed the liveliness.
What is this stall selling? I don't believe I've ever seen this before.
Oop, and I'm running again. And here we are. Maybe? Yes? There we go.
Shogun, excuse me.
It's all right. Relax. I'm just here to look around. I'm having a change of pace today. Could you tell me about the items you're selling?
Of course. I've got all kinds of snacks here. Takoyaki, dango, and milk, and so on.
Huh? Milk? Sounds kind of like the odd one out.
It might sound odd, but it is in fact my specialty. You see, many of the stores in town are already very well established. I couldn't compete with them no matter what I sell. So my idea was to create some new combinations to give customers a novel experience. For example, my latest concoction is this dango milk. When the dango are worked into a viscous form, they mix very nicely with the milk. The focus is not just the taste, but also the unique texture.
Oh, dango with milk. I've never heard of it. What made you want to do this?
I'm sorry, Shogun. I've got no bone to pick with eternity.
I said relax. There's no need to go treading on eggshells. Do you really think the eternity I pursue is something that can be shaken by dango and milk?
No. Don't knock it till you try it.
Huh. Why do I feel like she's different than I expected? Actually, it came to me by chance. A friend was catering once and made too many dango, so they gave some to me. But there were more than I had use for. My milk wasn't selling well at that time either. And both dango and milk have a short shelf life. So I thought I'd try mixing the two as I had nothing to lose. To my surprise, in the right proportion, it tasted superb.
A chance combination. Interesting. May I try this drink?
The almighty Shogun wants to try? Well, certainly. And you two should try it too.
And drink the dango milk slowly.
Nice. It's sweet. The sensation is not so different from eating a dessert. A unique beverage indeed.
Yeah, it's definitely a drink, but it also feels like eating food.
It's a little bit like... porridge? But the resemblance is only superficial. Anyway, I like it.
I'm very glad you approve.
I imagine that an item as delicious as this Dango milk must sell exceptionally well, no?
Well, I won't lie to you. Sales are very average.
Well, as long as you're making money, I guess it's good.
So it's selling slowly? Why is that?
Because most people aren't willing to give it a try. They think it's an unusual combination, even though everyone who's tried it before rates it highly. I'm not saying the Almighty Shogun has unusual tastes. Please, don't take it the wrong way.
Ah, I see. Well, that can be fixed. I'll just have the Yashiro Commission order a few hundred cups and go door-to-door delivering them.
Really?
No, Almighty Shogun, that's too much.
Is it? I just want them to try it. It would be a shame for them to miss out on Dango milk.
So you like sweet things?
Of course. I've heard that most humans like desserts, so it's not unusual that I should enjoy them too. Miko agrees with me on this. There's nothing like dessert for improving one's mood. Much more enjoyable than meditating alone all the time. By the way, Miko mentioned that she founded something called the Yai Publishing House to sell some sort of light novels. She's always bragging to me about it, but it's difficult for me to really imagine without seeing the place for myself. Can you take me there?
If I know where it is.
Sure! Let's go and have a look!
Do we know where it is? Apparently we do know where it is. Alright. Let's go have a look. I suppose we can take the shortcut. Didn't realize this was the place.
Shogun! Almighty Shogun! What brings you to the Yai Publishing House? Do you have instructions for us?
No, not at all. Don't be so nervous. I'm just here to look around.
Apologies. I still don't quite understand. Are you here to look into the management? Or publishing regulations? Or fire safety measures?
She just wants to browse your books.
The Almighty Shogun wishes to read light novels?
Yes. Any recommendations?
The Yai Publishing House's novels are mostly targeted at the general public, and the content is all kinds of strange. I'm not sure we have anything quite to the Almighty Shogun's taste.
Do you even know what her taste is?
I'm just here to try something new. There's no fun in reading the same kind of thing over and over again. Relax. It's just words on a page, isn't it? What could I misunderstand, really?
In principle, you're absolutely right. It's just...
It'll be fine. If there's anything the Shogun doesn't understand, we'll explain it to her.
Don't be nervous. The Almighty Shogun just wants to have a look.
Well... Okay then. Please proceed to the bookshelf over there. It has all the latest bestsellers.
Over where?
There are some winning entries from the This Novel is Amazing competition. I've just finished compiling them into a saleable form. Don't take them too seriously. It's all just a bit of fun.
Okay. Let's go then.
Looks like you also sell umbrellas.
Huh. How can this be? Did I underestimate the caliber of this material? I know every individual word in these books' titles, so why is it that they make no sense to me in these particular combinations? Take this one, for example. The good thing about being reincarnated as a hilly churl is that I only need to eat sunsettias to become stronger. It's so long. Is it true that hilly churls grow stronger from eating sunsettias? Well, surely it should be some sort of meat, at least.
It's just a narrative device.
Narrative device?
It's imaginary. Or it's whatever the author wants it to be. Yeah, it's whatever the author wants it to be.
So it's made up? what's the point of that? Without being grounded in reality, how can the story be believable? Also, I'm fairly certain that Hilichurls can't write stories. So, does this author claim to be documenting Hilichurl life from an outside perspective, perhaps?
Paimon's starting to understand Kuroda's reservations right about now.
Too modern, I guess. Fads have no place in eternity. Would you really call this a fad?
How
Maybe.
about we choose for you? We can pick out some novels that are easier to understand and give you the scoop.
All right, then. I believe myself to be relatively well-read, but with stories like these, I don't even know where to start. I have high hopes, though. This seems like Miko's style, so I'm sure the stories are very entertaining.
All right, leave it to us. We'll be back in a jiffy. This could be a pretty tough job. Let's see what we're up against.
Pick a suitable novel? I mean, we're not going anywhere. I don't know why we said we'll be right back. Reincarnation adventure story, daily life romance story, martial arts story. Well, let's start with the bottom one. Oops. Start with that one. Shogun Almighty, reborn as Raiden with unlimited power. In this book, the protagonist is struck by lightning beneath a thunder sakura and wakes up to discover that he has become the Raiden Shogun. Prior to this event, the protagonist is nobody who gets bullied by everyone, but after becoming the Shogun, he acquires unlimited power. The appeal of this one probably lies in the euphoria of going from powerlessness to omnipotence, and in the protagonist's inner journey from finally breaking free from their low self-esteem. But it's hard to see how the story would develop after the protagonist literally becomes the Shogun.
With a premise like this, it's no wonder Kuroda was nervous about letting A look around. Paimon thinks it might be best not to bring this one up with A. We might get the author in trouble.
But it doesn't paint the Shogun in a bad light. I think it's quite original.
Well, if someone turned into Paimon and did a bunch of stuff this Paimon would never do, Paimon would feel really uncomfortable.
Alright. Well, how about a daily life romance story? A chaotic epic that is the tale of my youthful love life. This book is about the love stories between a very mediocre man and 7 beautiful women. It is a chronological account of the protagonist's daily life, featuring many amusing anecdotes. The writing is solid, the prose is elegant, and the author brilliantly brings out the unique charm of each character in the story. But the story stops at a crucial moment when the main character's childhood sweetheart is just about to confess their love to him.
The suspense is killing Paimon! Paimon only skimmed through, but Paimon can tell this girl has loved the main character with all her heart since childhood.
I hope the writer gives her a happy ending.
Right! Yeah, it's just a novel. But please let the author have a heart, please! The plot is really gripping. But would A really understand this kind of mortal romance?
See, now Paimon is going along with the whole judging the Shogun without really knowing her.
So this is a date.
So life made me a fighter when I just want to be a writer. This book is a martial arts story set in Niue, focusing on fighting between different gangs. The protagonist aspires only to become a humble novelist, but gets caught up in the world of gang strife because of an unparalleled martial arts ability. The selling point of the story is that the protagonist never joins any faction, but is constantly assumed to be the reclusive master of one faction or another. The martial arts pros who see the protagonists as their enemies are always making a scene. protagonist is stuck in the middle of all of this, and while clinging tight to the dreams of becoming a novelist.
What a strange person. Why would someone want to be a novelist that badly?
Because they don't like to fight?
Someone like that could easily become the top martial arts pro in the world.
It's all about the journey.
You do have a point. And a character so determined to follow their ambition is likely to appeal to A, right? That's all of them. Let's try to explain them to A.
Alright. And we're back.
The looks on your faces tell me you found some good stories.
Martial arts story. I relate the story of
Goodness. Are people in Liyue really so complex these days? Even though the protagonist refuses to acknowledge his innate talents, he has a rare dedication to justice. Where is he now? Does he have plans to visit Inazuma? If so, I will instruct one of the commissioners to bring him to me on his arrival. I would very much like to spar with him.
He's a fictional character. He doesn't exist. What about the antagonist, though? Don't you have any thoughts about their part in the story?
The antagonists? You mean all the people who behaved foolishly? What can I say? They're bad people, and they all got what they deserved. End of story.
A doesn't seem interested in the supporting characters at all. So what do you think of Yae Publishing House's light novels, eh? Do you like the stories we picked?
What I take from these stories is not so much the content itself, but what they represent in terms of the effects of time upon Inazuma.
Apparently I don't get to relate the other two stories to her. Like, it makes me go through 3 stories on my own. But apparently,
Back when I decided to isolate myself in the plain of Euthymia, there was no Yae Publishing House, and certainly no stories of this kind. In accordance with my wishes, the Shogun did her best to create an eternal nation. A nation that, in theory, should remain entirely unchanged over time. But the fact is that both the food and the stories have changed with time.
it's human nature to seek change. Change is inevitable.
I disagree with your point of view.
I know.
That's what I would say if we were still in the plane of Euthymia. But the truth is right here in front of my eyes, and I can't deny it.
And that's exactly why we brought you out, to take a look around and get some fresh ideas. Sure, it's not the same as you remember, but one way or another, people are loving life in the present. That's gotta be a good thing, right?
Yes, you're right. I'm wary of any and all change. But I do not wish for my pursuit of eternity to stop human lives from changing for the better. Thank you for inviting me out. This trip has been quite eye-opening for me.
Don't mention it. We're just out here to have some fun.
This may be an everyday occurrence for you, but for me, this trip has been quite an occasion. I've seen a lot, and it's made me think a lot. I really can't praise it highly enough. I hope I will remember it for a long time to come.
Oh, why don't we take a photo?
Ooh, great idea! A's had a wonderful time, and a photo is the best way to remember it.
Take a photo? Once again, I'm faced with a combination of words that makes absolutely no sense to me.
It's okay. Come with us. We'll find a scenic spot and show you what we mean.
Back up this way, huh? Well, it's not that far. We're just going up the stairs. Although I'm sure that there are plenty of photogenic places to take a picture. What are we taking a picture of over here? I don't know. Let's find out.
So, what are we supposed to be doing?
We're taking a photo of you. Just leave the hard work to us. All you need to do is stand over there and strike a pose. Basically, a photo makes a visual record of you at this very moment in time, so it makes a great souvenir.
Okay, so what exactly is striking a pose?
A photo, excuse me. A photo is a visual representation.
Ah, I see. So in other words, I need to do some sort of visually agreeable action in front of you, right? The more I think about it, the more embarrassing it seems. How should I pose? Help me out here. It should look good, but not too over the top. This isn't coming naturally to me at all.
Well, let's see. Graceful and dignified, stern and serious, relaxed and casual. Well, we don't really want stern and serious because that's just kind of how you normally are or normally seen as being. Graceful and dignified wouldn't be that bad. I mean, I guess that's probably what you would want to go for, but I think the point of this is to be relaxed and casual.
Casual. How about this? This feels quite natural.
Does it? I mean, sure, that works. I can't be the one to say whether or not it's relaxed and casual.
Okay, let's get started.
Let's pick a good angle to record this moment from.
Apparently, this is a good angle. And I just so happen to have my camera, but... Alright. Maybe a little bit like that, so you can see the shrine up above. Sure. And there we go.
It's a wrap! Take a look! Here's the photo we took of you.
Wow. This is astonishing. Is it some kind of magic? It seems to be another copy of me.
So that'd be what, 3 of them?
But she doesn't seem to be able to move or talk.
It's just a record. It's not the real you.
I thought it would turn out poorly because I felt rather rigid, but it actually looks more natural than I imagined. The pose is exactly the same, and so is the scenery in the background. I can't imagine how it's achieved.
And that's one of the big drawbacks of this whole eternity thing that you're thinking of. There is no change. There is no progression.
That's what makes it so special.
Hang on. I'm still struggling to understand this. I need you to explain it again. So, the one in this photo, are you sure it isn't me?
It is a representation of you.
If it's not me, then why does she look exactly like me? And if she is me, then who am I?
Okay, that's way above Paimon's head. Over to you, Traveler.
And it's a little bit late. I'm having trouble talking. And it's a little bit like you and the Shogun.
Hey, that's right! Do you think the Shogun counts as you?
Of course I do. It was never my intention to place control of Inazuma into anybody else's hands.
So then, who does that make you, here and now?
Well, I'm still me. There is no doubt about that.
So your existence isn't singular.
My existence? I think I understand. I am me. There is only one of me, But I can exist in many different forms. It's not important what form I exist in. The Shogun, for example, is one of my forms of existence. The question of whether or not she is me is not determined by any of her components.
In that case, this picture is one of your forms of existence too.
So even I, who seeks eternity, am constantly changing my form of existence. Then, how can I ask Inazuma and everyone who lives here to remain unchanging?
Inazuma will always be Inazuma. Or humans will always be. I'm gonna go with the first one.
Everything I have encountered on this journey with you has been from beyond my existing sphere of knowledge.
Well, then don't close yourself away so much.
You've seen a lot of my ignorant side today. Maybe you can't tell, but all this has challenged my understanding of things. Based on what I have seen today, I am forced to accept that Inazuma is a completely different place from the one I remember.
Indeed, it should be.
But it would be incorrect to conclude from this that the Inazuma of today is no longer Inazuma.
Correct.
Both the Vision Hunt Decree and the statue of the omnipresent god were conceived as a means of bringing about eternity. But if I were really getting closer to eternity, none of this ever would have happened.
That is also correct.
Perhaps I've been holding on to everything too tightly.
Sounds to Paimon like Ace figured things out.
Or at least starting to.
And that means that we've done a really great job as her guides.
Master Kamaji! Master Kamaji!
Why is it getting so noisy down there? Oh, that sounded like Ippei. What could be the matter?
Ippei? Is that someone from the Tenryou Commission?
Yep, let's find out what's going on.
And back down the stairs we go.
Hey, Ippei! What's the matter?
Ah, it's you. Huh? The Almighty Shogun. You must be looking for my master, Kujo Kamaji? I am very sorry, he's not here at the moment. But if it pleases you, I will gladly deliver a message on your behalf.
It's okay. I'm not here to see him. We just heard you calling out, so we came to see what was going on.
Are you looking for your master?
Yes. Master Kamaji still hasn't returned from the negotiations, and I'm starting to get worried. In fairness, he does have a habit of taking long walks and coming back late. It's perfectly possible that he just found somewhere he likes and lost track of time. But for some reason, today, I'm particularly nervous.
Kujo Kamaji. A descendant of the Kujo clan, I presume.
That's right. Apologies, since the head of the clan is in poor health at the moment, and Master Masahito is rarely home, Master Kamaji is currently serving as representative of the Kujo clan.
I have heard that things are quite tumultuous with the Tenryou Commission at present. Does this have anything to do with Kujo Kamaji?
Forgive us, Almighty Shogun. The Kujo clan has failed in its duty. The Kujo clan's reputation is damaged, and its power over the Tenryou Commission is in decline. Plus you have yet to issue a verdict on the Commission's future. So, Master Kamaji decided to enter negotiations with the Takatsukasa clan with a view of having them take over.
Surely they would be discussing something like that at their headquarters, right? Why are you looking for them here?
Actually, they decided to hold this one elsewhere. I'm a little confused as to why, to be honest, but I didn't feel it was my place to question the higher-ups. The meeting place is in the mountains near the Grand Narukami Shrine. I believe the Takatsukasa clan have some kind of base there.
Takatsukasa. Another familiar name. They have been faithfully serving the Kujo clan all these years?
Yes, that's why Master Kamaji decided to discuss things with them. I understand they must have had a lot of ground to cover, but still, There's no way it should have gone on this long. I've searched all over the city. If he really hasn't returned yet, then...
Maybe they haven't finished. Or maybe something's happened. I'm gonna go with maybe they haven't finished. I know maybe something has happened.
Yeah, I thought of that possibility too. But someone of my rank can't just go venturing into Takatsukasa clan territory like that.
We can go check things out for you.
No, no need. I'm probably just overthinking things. Besides, if they're still at it, they'll only blame me for interrupting the negotiations.
Not if I don't say that you sent us.
I'm only a lowly servant. But Master Kamaji and I grew up together. It'd be terrible if anything ever happened to him. I'm not as smart as Master, so I can't really share his burdens. But the last thing I'd want would be for him to come to harm when I could have done something about it.
What do you think, Almighty Shogun?
Let's go see what's happening. With me present, they are unlikely to blame you, even if we do happen to interrupt the negotiations. Besides, this has only come about because I failed to make a timely decision. This issue started with me, and I shall be the one to finish it.
That's commitment right there.
Thank you so much, Shogun. I'll keep looking around in the meantime, too. Let me mark out the location of the base for you. I hope everything goes smoothly.
Alright, so we're heading away that way. Up in the mountains. Interesting. Well, let's see, up there, huh? You know what? Might be faster to, go there from up here. Rather than spending the time climbing the mountain, I'll spend less time falling into place. So, what is over here anyway? Nothing. Nothing is over here. And I guess that's why it's a secret outpost. Ah, I see. A hidden mountain base. Following the intelligence you got from Ippei, you discover the Takatsukasa clan hidden base. The Tenryou Commission is in a precarious state, and Kujo Kamaji has not returned. Do not yet know what has happened in this place. And it seems good enough. And I believe we'll have the Shogun with us, right?
Whoa! Look at how well hidden this place is.
I can't think of a reason anyone would want to build a structure like this deep in the mountains.
Maybe to evade detection.
I feel something that doesn't belong here. I sense danger.
Huh?
We should proceed with caution. The Kujo clan descendant may well be in trouble.
Alright. And now I get to try out, Shogun. Oh, she uses a spear. Yeah, do I get a look at it? What is it? Golfing Lightning. Attack increased by 28% of energy recharge over the base 100%. Okay, so I don't know why I'm going so into this, but so 28% above the 100 energy recharge. You can gain a maximum bonus of 80% attack, 30% energy recharge for 12 seconds after using burst. Okay, so So 28% of energy recharge above 100, but it can only go up to 80%. I mean, I suppose that's pretty good. It's fully kitted out, so should be good. Oh, and she doesn't spin forward like all the others do. That's cool. Let's give it a shot.
It's my lucky day.
Shine down.
Take flight.
Oops.
To the fairy.
Why are there Ronin here? This is a Tenryou Commission base!
Something is not right. We must remove all those who stand in our way. Inazuma shines eternal!
Oh, that one got me.
Finally, my lucky day.
There is no escape!
There's more. See no more.
Insolent.
Boom.
Take flight.
My blade.
Embrace the ice.
To the fairy.
Grab the treasure. I said grab the treasure, don't just leave it on the floor. Yeah. Ow.
Shine down!
Whirling snow.
Torn to oblivion!
The fairy. My blade.
My apologies.
Finally, there's more. How's this?
Come on, we can do it!
Very high. My lucky day. There's more.
Inazuma shines eternal!
To the fairy. There's more. Finally, to the fairy. Let's get down to business.
So many enemies.
Illusion shattered!
Whirling snow. Sakura swirl.
There is no escape!
Oh, okay. So whatever the Raiden's thing is actually stays with you. Cool.
Let's get down to business.
Take flight.
Off he goes. Oh, and now we got the big guys.
Let me try my.
Shine down!
You haven't won yet.
My apologies. Embrace the ice.
Illusion shattered. Now you shall perish.
Cut down.
There is no escape.
Whirling snow.
Oh.
Take flight.
Ready, steady, go!
I think the worst part about using Barbara's healing is that it turns your camera around. But other than that, it seems to be okay. And that should be it.
It's Kujo Kamaji! But who's he with?
I don't know.
Stay back. I will deal with this.
Okay. Sounds good to me. She said stay back.
Almighty Shogun!
Shogun, what are you...
Descendant of the Takatsukasa clan. Explain what is going on here.
Oh, we're just discussing some minor issues that have cropped up in the Tenryo Commission recently. Really, it's nothing worth the almighty Shogun worrying about.
And these minor issues warranted the secluded location and the hiring of Ronin and Kairagi to keep guard?
Well, there's been a lot of turmoil lately. It was just out of security considerations, that's all.
Uh-huh.
Silence. Descendant of the Kujo clan. Your turn.
All right. I came here intending to negotiate, but it turned out all they were interested in was a written confession from the Kujo clan.
A written confession?
Yes. A statement acknowledging every crime committed by the Kujo clan since the inception of the Vision Hunt Decree, including all the recent misconduct.
All factual statements, of course. Not a single one of them fabricated.
I can't deny that. But it also emphasizes the Takatsukasa clan's achievements throughout the document, claiming they stood steadfast all along and fought back against the crisis. These are all falsehoods.
Says who? Why, you two-faced... You're going back on everything you said.
I'm just stating the facts. I'm sure the almighty Shogun can discern the truth. All the Takatsukasa clan is trying to do is make themselves look good, so they'll be first in line to replace the Kujo clan. Why else would you push a false narrative in the written confession that paints your clan in a good light, and try to make me sign it under duress?
What are you talking about? You're not under duress, we're just negotiating here. You've completely changed your tune.
I don't like the mask on the wall. That looks a lot like one of the bosses. I don't know what they're called, but they have like this shield that is a mask cut in half. I hope I don't have to fight that.
I believe I now understand the situation.
Don't listen to his nonsense. I'm sure you're well aware of the major failings of the Kujo clan. Surely you, of everyone, knows. Not a single word they say can be trusted.
You are quite mistaken if you think your dispute is of any interest to me. Descendant of the Takatsukasa clan, you wish to become the new Tenryo commissioner. Do I understand this correctly?
Well, yes, of course. It's the eternal pursuit of everyone in the Tenryo Commission to offer our lives in service of the almighty Shogun.
Then the situation is not as complicated as you seem to have made it. After all, I am the one who appoints the Tenryo commissioner. The process is quite simple. Anyone who can beat me in a duel becomes the new commissioner.
Sorry, a duel with the almighty Shogun?
The first Tenryo commissioner demonstrated his will with the blade in his hand. That is why the title has been passed down within the Kujo clan ever since. If you want me to appoint a new clan, then naturally, there must first be a new duel. Do you not know how to wield a blade? Or do you simply doubt your abilities on account of your advanced age and declining physical condition? Here you are talking about offering your life, and yet you are too afraid to face my blade.
Well...
Well, never mind. What about one of you, then? Anyone who can defeat me, Takatsukasa or not, will be appointed the new Tenryou Commissioner. Does not a single person dare to face me?
I will challenge you, Almighty Shogun.
What?
Descendant of the Kujo clan. Regrettably, even if you win against me, it cannot atone for the wrongs committed under the Kujo name.
I realize that. I don't stand a chance of winning against you anyway. I know full well that the mistakes my father made ought to spell the end of the Kujo clan's legacy in the Tenryou Commission. Even when I was executing the Vision Hunt decree, I had doubts about my father's decisions. I knew that what I was doing was wrong. But that was as far as I went. I doubted, and I ruminated. I understood the situation perfectly well, but I took no action, and I didn't save a single person. I accept the Kujo clan's decline as punishment for my deeds. I can't even say that I failed to prevent it, because in order to fail, you have to have at least tried.
To be brutally honest, for someone of your strength, there is nothing you could have done, even if you had tried.
Yes. I'm too weak. My father ignores me. My elder brother can't help me. And I even need Ippei to set me straight at times. It's the way it's always been. But if nothing else, then right here, right now in the Kujo clan's final hours, it is I who represent the clan, like my father before me. His duties are now mine to perform. Just as the Shogun said, a forefather of mine once showed his will with his sword. Then please, let me, Kujo Kamaji, end the story of the Kujo clan in the same way that it began. This is my last chance to do something.
This is patently meaningless. But I accept. Come forward.
Oh, there's momentarily 2 shoguns. At least he does have a sword.
The Kujo clan's honor was forged with courage, tempered with integrity, and shines beyond life and death. Show me whether your blade can bear the weight of your name.
Ready to learn, Almighty Shogun.
Oh, there goes glasses.
Another anomaly in eternity. Nevertheless, it appears that the Kujo honor still courses through your veins. Kujo Kamaji is wounded. Descendants of the Takatsukasa clan, it is your responsibility to take care of him.
Sorry for being so quiet during that. I try not to talk during the video sections of the game, just for the sake of that they are, you know, to be presented in the way that they are, and you can't pause them or anything like that. So that's why I was trying to keep quiet.
You may not have the courage to challenge me, but I trust that you are capable of attending to a small matter such as this.
Yes, of course. I apologize. I'm sorry. So sorry.
I had heard that the Kujo clan is no longer fit to shoulder the work of the Tenryo Commission. The search for a successor to the role of Tenryo Commissioner is indeed a matter of great urgency. However, following this duel, I have decided to postpone the Kujo clan's punishment for the time being. In the meantime, I expect the Takatsukasa clan to continue supporting the Kujo clan as before.
As you instruct, so it shall be done. We would not dare question the almighty Shogun's will.
Again. Don't forget that part. You wouldn't question their will again.
Finally, if you still think you can copy the Fatui strategy of providing me with deceptive information to produce flaws in my judgment, you will see me appear once again as I have done today. Only next time, my blade will show no mercy.
Understood. Thank you, almighty Shogun, for your wisdom and mercy.
That will do. I will have the Okuzumeshu continue the investigation from here. Come with me. Let's find a quiet place. There's something I want to talk about with you.
Also, treasure. I haven't gotten much treasure recently. I know it's because I haven't really been doing much exploring. But again, that's because of limited time. Alright, now we are up here.
Whew. When it's time to deal with the situation, you're just like the Shogun. So strict.
And this is a pretty good angle of this. I wish I had had this angle when I was making the thumbnail for it.
Oh, you think so? I thought I was rather accommodating. If it had been the Shogun, she would have decapitated Kujo Kamaji without a second thought.
Maybe that's what he was expecting.
I do believe he was prepared for that outcome. I could see it in his eyes. The Kujo clan has undergone a dramatic change from its glory days to its present decline. Kamaji is hardly a great heir to the Kujo name, but he has shown me how some things remain the same even as the world around them changes. I also have you to thank. The things we experienced out on the streets and the photo you took of me, they helped me come to this realization too.
So what's next for the Kujo clan? Will they get to carry on being in charge of the Tenryo Commission?
Not a chance. Even if their heir was someone who showed promise, their past mistakes cannot be erased. Still, I will give them a little more time. After all, they are not the only ones who have made mistakes. The Shogun does not make mistakes. She is incapable of doing so. But I, as A, would like to offer my apologies. I have much to contemplate in the days to come, but at least I can now see the way ahead.
Will you rule Inazuma directly?
I think I'll leave that to the Shogun. The greatest threat to eternity is still the erosion that comes with time. As I said, the Shogun has a robust system to protect her against modification. This is because I anticipated that I myself would change over time. But I've made up my mind. So I will do what needs to be done, no matter how difficult it is. This has certainly been a memorable series of events.
Absolutely. You sorted out the Tenryo Commission, and the people in the city got to see a happy and healthy Shogun. All the awful rumors will disappear in no time. If you enjoyed your trip, we should get you out again sometime.
Next time, we'll bring you some souvenirs, or next time, we'll bring you some fun little trinkets. mean, souvenirs, I think, would be great. You know, bringing stuff in from like Liyue or Mondstadt, just so that she can see how things have changed elsewhere as well.
No need. There's no place for such things in my life. Also, please stop making it sound as if I somehow need the company. Okay, I'm ready to head back now.
Are you saying you don't need company?
My period of solitude will now continue, but it will not last too much longer. I will leave you humans to deal with any minor issues in the meantime.
Okay, see you next time! Considering a lot of what happened was pretty unexpected, things seem to have worked out surprisingly well in the end. The only thing left to do is return the pass permit to Yaimiko.
I was wondering if we were going to actually do that. Hold on. First of all, do we actually have that in our inventory? I don't know where it would be. Be in here, maybe? With this thing? Yes, there's the pass permit. Alright, well, once we're done, I'm gonna see if that's still in our inventory. Because I don't know if things actually leave my inventory once I have them. Unless, of course, they expire because they're limited time event stuff. It'd also be nice if, you know, these characters were here all the time, rather than just in specific instances. I know that I made a comment about how they were around during the festival, but now I'm noticing that that's pretty much the only time they're around. So, let's finish up this quest.
We're back! We had a great trip!
Did you now? Well then, you'll have to tell me all about it.
And tell Yaimiko about the various things that happened.
How amusing. The almighty Shogun goes downtown, and suddenly she's like a wide-eyed country girl trying to find her bearings in the big city. Marvelous.
I have a feeling you would probably be mocking her or making fun of her as it was happening if you were around.
What a shame I didn't get to see it for myself.
Only you would dare to say that. Yeah, this is kind of what I was thinking. You and the Shogun enjoy teasing each other.
It's fine. She wouldn't mind. Really, she wouldn't. So, from what you were saying, it seems that she has finally begun to comprehend what form eternity should take?
She's giving it thought.
That's the most important outcome of this trip. To be honest, I wasn't expecting you'd make such great progress when I lent you the pass permit.
Yeah, it seems like she's not gonna force everything to stay the same way anymore.
To put it nicely, even deities indulge in wishful thinking. To put it more bluntly, there are things that even the Seven can't do when faced with something even more powerful than themselves.
Human heart, heavenly principles? Let's go with the human heart.
Take a guess. Anyway, it sounds like you had a very pleasant trip and even had the chance to see A's less formal side. Next time you wish to see her, you can come and take the pass permit from me again. She would never admit to it, but she does, in fact, get quite lonely.
Yeah, I kind of figured that. Also, this person down here is just staring up at us, listening to the conversation.
What? But she said she doesn't need company.
Because she is a god. It's not that gods don't need the company of others, just that the idea of a god having company seems indulgent to her. But you don't belong to this world. Perhaps you are just the company she needs.
Hey, finally somebody that acknowledges that. Alright, quest completed. Now let's see here. So first, I want to check Alright, it does look like she actually took the pass permit away. But let's see here. Did that unlock? Yes, it unlocked the second one. And then I still have these other ones to do. But that'll be for another time, I think. For now, though, it's been about 3 hours. So I think I'm gonna call it here.
As a jeweler
But I am glad that I got some new characters in this. So, you know, I got Nahida, which is, of course, the one I was trying for. But then I also got the 3 4-star characters as well. So Layla, Dori, and Kuki Shinobu. So I feel that was a pretty good session of rolling. I did also get a spare of this guy. So, you know, my collection isn't doing too bad. So, you know, let me see if I can... Characters owned. So, you know, again, they're mostly 4 stars, but I've got 3 5 stars at this point. I don't really count the Traveler as 5 star, even though she is the same, color coded the same. But yeah. With that though, I think I'm gonna call it for the day. And then I'll be back again Sunday evening with more Genshin. And next week is going to be a very similar week. Genshin, of course, as I just mentioned, on Sunday. Monday, I believe I am starting up Pokemon Legends Arceus. So we'll see how that goes. I'm sure I'll enjoy it just as much as I did Pokemon Sword. Tuesday, then... What is Tuesday? Tuesday would be RimWorld. It still seems to be going pretty good. When I left off, there was a bit of trouble. I lost a colonist, lost an arm on one of my colonists, and had to start limping back home. So we'll see how that turns out. Wednesday, then, is Vampire Survivors, because they just came out with a DLC today. So, since that's the next open slot for a game, well, it was the slot for Vampire Survivors to begin with. So, next Wednesday, I'll be trying out the DLC. If there's enough to keep me going for 3 hours, then I'll do so. If not, then I'll switch over to Hollow Cure, which is just similar to it, but in a different style. And then next Thursday, of course, will be just like today, second run of Genshin. I don't know how much more rolling on the wishes I'll do, but I think I'll have to get more Primogems, because I'm down to 4,300 from like 15,000. So I think it took me 70 rolls to get Nahida. But anyway, with that, I will talk to y'all next time. Have a good night.